Hi guys, welcome to Razon.com. This is Mohit Soni. Right in front of you is the Mahindra Bolero Neo. Yes, it may look like a facelifted TUV, but it's got more than a facelift. It's got a name change and it's got a whole host of changes. Mahindra says it has a lot of revision over the previous TUV100. They've taken a lot of feedback. They've done their own research and found out a number of things to be improved, and they've done that. And of course, as always, a facelift needs to have a party piece, and this one has it. So as always, let's begin with the design. Well, it's pretty much like a TUV that we have been used to since quite some time, and the design is inspired by the battle tank and it's been done by Pininfarina. So I think, and it's been always in my opinion, that the TUV 300 does look rather impressive in the way it looks and its design, because it doesn't look like a monotonous Bolero from the past or any other thing. It does look like a modern ladder on frame car, how it should be designed, and that's how it's done. You can see the extra shoulder line, the line that is running around here as well in form of a tape, and that's a molding, sorry. And you have a side step here. You have similar looking alloy wheels from the past, and those are drums, quite big drums at the back, and the discs are at the front also are very big. Coming to the front, well, it gets a very typical Bolero grill at the front or on the top half of the section, and it kind of reminds me of the Alturas, and I think that's great. The lower section also is vented, the upper section is also vented. You've got fog lamps here. There's no halogen LED DRL, it's just still got a halogen setup, and it's lost some amount of weight. Mahindra wouldn't say the exact number, but it has lost a good amount of weight. And they've also said is the fact that it's being designed in a way to suit the customer need more. And at the back we can see there is a refreshed tail lamp here. It's very chunky, very nice, and again it's a halogen here, it's not LED or anything like that. 4 variants, N4 starting from the N4 if I'm right, going all the way till N10 optional, and you get a spare wheel mounted on the tailgate. That's how you open it and come across the similar jump seat setup that clearly the urban consumer doesn't like, but the rural consumer continues to like, and it's still best for small adults and kids. They don't have seat belts for them here, and that's the amount of cargo space you have. If you can take these seats up like this, you can free even more space, and I think you can use it either way. Going to the back, let's go to the side where I'm sitting. I can show you the kind of space it can offer. It's the same as the TUV 300. Getting inside is good, but I think the side step is a little too narrow. It's quite on the inside, and since it's new, it's very slippery as well. I'm going to avoid that for now. And getting inside, this is me behind my driving position. Good knee room, very good leg room, and I have an armrest here without cup holders. Headroom is good as well, and that is the dashboard, and that's the TUV with a different color in the front of us. Same center console, lot of cup holders, large handbrake. Below that also there's some space to keep some stuff. There's stuff to keep on the side of the gear lever. I'll come to that in a bit. No height adjustable seats, but height adjustable seats are there, but not height adjustable seat belts. And now let's get into the car. So stepping inside the cabin, you can see there's a lot of buttons here. This is for the rear screen to heat up. This is the eco mode, the controls for the mirror, which are nicely placed, and that is the headlight adjust, and that is the eco start stop system. You can switch it on and off from here. And coming inside, you can see similar fabric upholstery from the past. It's more premium now, and definitely it feels a step above. Not too much, but to a certain extent, yes. Cabin plastic quality continues to be the same. I always like the plastic here, but it could have been finished much well and fitted much well. Let's here the door, which is also Mahindra saying they've re-engineered that, and that's the instrument cluster. That's how the car starts. That's the 7-inch touchscreen. It's got BlueSense now, so I think that's fantastic. It's got a whole host of connectivity systems. It starts in this very dramatic way. Sound quality we've not tested yet. It should be good enough. We'll do that in the road test. Very large glove box, and it could have been done a little bit more tougher. But still, the overall build quality feels very impressive. It can take a lot of beating. The previous TUV 300 also did that. This will also do that. In fact, Mahindra says they have made sure that they've advanced every other aspect of the car, which was good and needed improvement. Both have been improved, so that's great. The only sore point, of course, is the center mounted window controls, which is a hit or a miss with some people. So you just need to decide what is your pet peeve on that. Steering, yes, very nice, very chunky. It gives you a good exercise in the parking lot. But to be honest, and jokes apart, it's much better than before. But then again, at parking speeds, it is going to require a good amount of heft. And we've just done that, and we've also had a small amount of exercise to deal with. And same pedals, and these door mirrors obviously look really great, really old school, chunky, go with the overall design. And you've got AC, that is a very good AC, it's working really well. Steering mounted controls. You've got, there's no automatic wipers and lights. Mahindra says that it's not required in this car because the target audience is different. And the TUV continues to be very impressive inside and outside in a bare basic way. It's mostly for, if you have a rural runabout a lot, you should definitely consider this car. And now let's get to the driving part. So we are on the Mahindra's iconic Chakan test track, driving the new Bolero Neo. We explained you about the features, the interior and the exterior, and now it's time to put some laps on the car. And what have we come across while driving it on a test track, which has a bit of bounce and a lot of banking around, along with a very strict road with some maneuvers. We found that the body roll has decreased by a good margin. Earlier the body roll felt with the TUV 300 there was body roll, it was well contained. Now it's even well contained because the center of gravity now is much lower, Mahindra says, and you can feel that even while cornering the car right now. I'm doing it quite above, I think, a ladder on frame car, how should it behave. I am slightly higher, and this car is holding up, the SUV is holding up rather well. The steering, of course, it's very precise. It does what you ask it to do, but it doesn't give you much feedback. So that's something that you should get acquainted with rather quickly, and should not be a problem, of course, because it's not a driver's car or anything like that. But still, precision is there. You will get used to the kind of abstract feedback that you get, so you'll be safe and secure in this car. Doing triple digit speeds, taking corners at sweepers at high speeds, let's say 100, 120, the car has been rather stable. It does feel much more isolated from the outside, so the car is trying its best to keep you, calm inside the cabin, while it does a lot of job outside without even letting you know about it. And as you can see, even the tire squeal noises don't come inside the cabin, and I think that's a sign of the NVH levels being very good. And the engine noise is really well in check. Of course, I am a very big fan of this engine. This 1.5 litre 3-cylinder motor making 100 PS and 260 Newton meters. The car weighs around 1,555 kilos, and it's mated to this 5-speed gearbox. Sadly, there's no 6-speed yet. And the clutch, it feels light. It's not springy or heavy. It does feel rather well. I remember my time with the TUV 300 very recently, and this is even better than that. Every time I drive a ladder on frame car from Mahindra, the gearbox just becomes better, the clutch becomes lighter. Of course, it's not still meeting the benchmark, but I don't think we have any benchmarks to compare here. Every other rival has switched on to monocoque, while Mahindra continues to offer a lot of body on frame cars like this. There's the Scorpio, and which is why the Scorpio which I test rode was very impressive, and this also gives me that feel. Then the Mahindra guys told me that this is based on the Scorpio platform, so I know that's the reason why the chassis behavior is much better than before. Obviously, large car, drum brakes at the back along with disc at the front. The pedal bite could have been better, but it does stop. If you're doing normal speeds, it will come to a stop rather quickly. It does that in a very calm manner. Along with that, I think, like I told you about the steering wheel, it's a bit of an effort on the at parking speeds, and after that, it's something you can live with it rather easily. I spoke about the brakes, I spoke about the steering. I love the engine, the gearbox, and the clutch continues to get better every time, and body roll is well in check. I think that's what we can tell you right now. Ride quality, we've had more time with the car on a very dedicated track, and of course this is not a four-wheel drive car, but we were on the off-road section and we encountered something very brilliant. Allow us to explain. As you can see, the Mahindra Bolero Neo is going over rough patches really well. This is a situation where 1/4 of the wheel is above the ground while it contemplates from side to slide at the same time. So this is the MTT technology that Mahindra has introduced with the Bolero Neo, which basically helps people to off-road in situations like this, which is going to be rare. But what is also going to happen is when Mahindra gave us an example where on a dual carriage highway, when your one wheel is on the ground and the one wheel is on the rough patch while the other wheel is on the the normal patch, the road patch, and it usually wheel spins a lot and there's a lot of drama and fuss, and that does kind of not make it very smooth. So Mahindra has made sure that it can do that, sense the wheel which needs the most RPM, and it will provide torque to it, and to make sure that the wheel spin is as minimum as possible, to make sure that it's a very smooth transition getting out of that phase. Let's face it, this happens to all of us most of the time when we are on road trips, when we are crossing states and villages and the dual carriage road is not wide enough. So that's the reason why Mahindra has done it, and of course it can do a lot of things very easily. This particular track here we did with no clutch, no brake, no accelerator. The car just kept on going and we were just steering the car. There's absolutely no effort from us whatsoever, apart from the fact where we had to just steer and just get out of the course at the end, and that is it. It actually did a fantastic job on its own, going through one side of a very large pile up of rocks and going through very sharp rocks at the same time, which was a rocky road, and there was this pile of where the car is almost at a 50-60 degree angle and it's going on that really well, as you can see right now. So it can do all of these quite well. So this is the situation where most of us spend our time doing normal off-road, and that's the reason why the TUV 300 is one of the most unique sub 4 meter SUVs in its class, because it can do all of this really well, and the other front wheel drive cars are not capable of doing so much so. But of course this also comes at a price, and the other SUVs also offer something more road biased performance than the TUV. After this off-road session, how do we sum up the the Bolero Neo? The Bolero Neo is much better than the TUV. It's a premium version of the Bolero, which is how it's being placed. And I love the engine. The infotainment system is good. Of course, there are no high-end features here. Those are still reserved for the XUV and the Scorpio. This car comes across when you have to deal with broken city roads every single day, which are broken, let's say, for 6 months in a year. So all of that will be dealt very easily with this car, along with if you have rural runabouts, if you have to commute to off-road sections every day. I think this car will be a no-nonsense car in that aspect. It will do really well. It will be solid, dependable. This engine is fantastic. It's been proving itself again and again to be a real gem. Even in the BS6 Avatar, Mahindra has made sure that it's not lost its character, and it's got a lot of pulling power off the line, and it does triple-digit speeds also really well. The chassis control, the chassis behavior is much better than before. In line with the previous TUV 300 prices, the sub 4 meter SUV should be good value. We are filming right now and this video will come after launch, but we don't have the prices right now. But like I said, it will be in line with the TUV 300 prices. This is a major facelift in a way, and not at the same time. There's a name change, there is the MTT has been introduced. So Mahindra has that one party piece that you require in a facelift, and that's the MTT. It will do all of that, what we just explained really well. It will take on city roads, it will do your rural runabouts, it will do off-road also quite well, and that makes it a no-nonsense car for people who are looking for something like this with a budget of, let's say, 10 to 12 lakh rupees. I think that's how we'll sum it up. Once we road test it, we'll come to know more about it. But for now, our first impressions continue to be very positive about the Bolero Neo, and I don't think you can go wrong with this car if you have the requirements that we just explained. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, share our video, comment if you still have some questions, and we'll be happy to answer them. Hit the bell icon, follow us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook, and stay updated. See you next time. Goodbye.